Okay, hello everyone, guys. Hello everyone. Good morning. How are you all? Good morning, everyone. My name is Afreen and I welcome you all to today's session. So today we are going to discuss the last unit of Indian economy and Indian financial system, that is REITs and InvITs, Real Estate Investment Trust and Infrastructure Investment Trust. To whoever is watching this video, just please like and share the video to the maximum you can. And if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, it's a request, guys, that please subscribe this channel and press the bell notification icon. Everyone, guys. Okay. So let's start discussing this job topic, that is REITs and InvITs, which is unit 45. First of all, what are REITs? So REITs is actually another way to get investment in the real estate. So if you want to get investment or if you want to invest in the real estate, okay, then you can just invest in the equities or stock of the listed real estate companies, right? So in this REIT are the investment vehicle where the money are actually pooled from the investors. So there are different investors, okay? And these investors just sum up and pool the money like in the mutual funds. And then this money has been utilized by portfolio in the real estate assets. Okay, so these are what the money are pooled, and then the money are used to buy portfolios in the real estate assets. Okay, they manage these assets to generate a regular income and capital appreciation in order that to ensure that the REITs is able to generate income. 80% of the profile of the REIT are actually invested in the completed and rent generated properties, right? While REIT can invest in all kind of income generated properties such as residence and offices and hotels and malls and warehouses in India, REITs are mainly focusing on the office space. Okay, so money are actually pooled together in the REITs and then actually invested to buy the real estate property or assets. Okay, so you are actually the fractional owner of that real estate property. Then it is known as REITs, right? And in order to ensure that the REIT holder should get a proper and regular income, 80% of the investment of the REITs are actually invested in the income generated properties. Like they are invested in the residences and offices and hotels and warehouses, etc. Right? Next, if we talk about the history of REITs, what is the history of REITs? Okay, so history of REITs is structured on the line of mutual fund and were first introduced in USA in 1960s, right? So REITs the very first time for the very first time, REIT has been introduced in USA in 1960s. Next, if we talk about the REITs, REIT was first introduced by SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, in year 2007, which is almost 50 years after they were first incorporated as the investment vehicle. So the very first time REIT were introduced in India, it was by the Securities and Exchange Board of India, and it was in year 2000, okay, which is almost 50 years after they was first incorporated as the investment vehicle. If we talk about the first Indian REITs, these were established in 2017, and the name of this REIT was Embassy REIT. The name was this REITs was Embassy REIT, and it is open for initial public offering in March 2018. Then, if we talk about the REITs companies, REIT companies are listed in the Indian Stock Exchange, like National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange, and these are monitored and regulated regularly by SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, in order to ensure the adherence to the industry's practices by REITs and safeguard the interest of the investor. So for safeguarding the investors, interests of the investors, and for ensuring that the REITs should have a proper and without any fraud, the industry is practicing goods, then the REITs are listed in the Indian Stock Exchange. These are monitored and these are regulated by the SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. So first, if we talk about the REITs introduced in USA, in India, it has been introduced in 2017. The first REIT was Embassy REIT, regulated by SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. Clear? Now next, if we talk about the organizational structure of the REITs, what is the organizational structure of the REITs? So REITs are very similar to mutual funds. REITs are what? REITs are actually very similar to mutual fund. Why? Because they allow the pooling of money just as same in the mutual fund. So as in the mutual fund, the pooling of money is there. So in the same REIT structure, the pooling of money is there. And in both mutual funds and REITs, the money are actually managed professionally by a designated fund manager. So there is a designated fund manager which is actually doing what? Which is actually managing the money of the investor. Okay. Now, here, if we talk about the mutual fund, the underlying of the mutual fund can be any equity, debt, gold, or a combination of these. Whereas in REIT, it is actually the physical property, right? Now, when we are talking about the REITs, REITs actually, when the real estate company, they decide to form a trust, they become the sponsor of the REITs and they appoint a trustee. The very first step is when there is a real estate company. Okay, and that real estate company want to be a REIT, right? Want to be form a REIT, real estate investment trust. Then they just first of all become the sponsor of that REIT, and then they appoint a particular trustee. Then they do what? Then they appoint a particular trustee. Now, trustee holds the real estate asset. The trustee holds the real estate asset of the trust in their trusteeships, right? And these are no longer directly controlled by the sponsor. Then the REIT may control its real estate holdings either directly or through a formation of a special purpose vehicle. So first of all, there is a trustee. Okay, now the trustee hold the real estate assets and now these are no longer directly assets by the sponsor. Now, then this REIT may have a special purpose vehicle which actually control the real estate holding and it can be directly or it can be indirectly. Clear? Now, the special purpose vehicle is a actually domestic company which hold real estate assets on the behalf of REIT. Okay, and as per the regulation, the trust must hold 50% equity in the special purpose vehicle. So the trust must have a 50% equity in what? Special purpose vehicle. Now, the trustee, it appoints a manager to manage the real estate property and to take the investment decision. After the manager has been appointed, the REIT can be registered, and once registered, the REIT can raise the money from the public by the sale of units, and it can be done either publicly on stock market or through the private placements, right? At the most basic level, REITs unit represent the part ownership of the real estate held by the trust, and this entity is the unit holder of the share of the income generated REITs. So you become actually the fractional owner of that property and you will be getting income depending upon how much unit of the REITs you are holding. Okay, so this is actually the organizational structure of the REIT. Okay, so REIT appoints a trustee. Now, when trustee is appointed, then it is no longer controlled by the sponsor. Then there is a special purpose vehicle which is managing the REITs, right? Special purpose vehicle is a domestic company and the trustee should have a 50% holding in the special purpose vehicle. Now, the trustee appoints the manager to manage the REIT and to take the investment decision. After the manager is appointed, the REITs can be registered. right? At the most basic level, the REIT represent a fractional ownership of that property. Clear? Now, there are typically different type of REITs which are mentioned here. So there are different type of REITs, like there are retail REITs, there are residential REITs, there are healthcare REITs, there are office REITs, there are mortgage REITs. So these are the different type of REITs which has been introduced. Okay, and retail, residential, healthcare, office and mortgage REITs. Okay, now we will be discussing these REITs in detail in the batches itself. Okay, now this second part of this chapter, which is known as InvITs. Now, what is InvITs? InvITs are actually innovative trust-based financial instrument which enables the participation of the investors in the infrastructure financing. So if you want to do infrastructure financing, if you as an investor, you want to invest in the financing of any infrastructure, then InvITs, these are the financial instrument, innovative financial instrument, which enables you to participate in the infrastructure financing, right? So InvITs therefore provides opportunity invest in the infrastructure asset, okay, with predictable cash flows and dividend. Once we are talking about the InvITs, InvITs had been introduced in India in 2014, and these are employed by infrastructure assets owner. So InvITs, this has been introduced in what 2014, and these are employed by infrastructure assets owner to pool money from a diverse set of investor against the payout of the cash flow income generated by the asset. Now, if we talk about the InvITs, these are established as the trust under the Indian Trust Act 1882. These are regulated and registered with SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, Regulations 2015 and 16. While there is no hard and fast rule what is infrastructure, but there are certain sectors which are under the category of the infrastructure, like if you are participating in the road, port, power, railways, airport, telecommunication, energy, and coal and petroleum, cement production. So these are all actually the part of the infrastructure. These are all actually the part of infrastructure. Clear? Now, if we talk about the organization of InvITs, now how the InvITs are managed. So, InvITs are actually managed by three-tier managing structure. There is a sponsor, there is a manager, and there is a trustee. There is one sponsor, there is one manager, there is one trustee. If we talk about the sponsor, an InvITs can have a maximum of three sponsors. Usually, a sponsor is an infrastructure development company that originally built, owned, and operate the infrastructure assets of the trust. InvITs sponsors are mandatorily required to hold at least 50%, 15% stake in the trust for at least 3 years. Then there is a manager. InvITs are managed by two type of manager. There is an investment manager and a project manager. Investment manager is actually responsible for ensuring that the existing investment of the invest should provide returns as per their expectation. Whereas investment managers make new investments decision on the behalf of the trust to ensure the growth of the invest, right? And there is a trustee. The key responsibility of the trustee is to hold the assets, okay, in trusteeship or to safeguard the what interest of the unit holder. So if we talk about the InvITs have a sponsor, these have manager. Manager means investment manager and a project manager, and there is a trustee. Okay, so these are the organization of InvITs. Clear? So, this is the chapter. I have just given you a short overview of this chapter, not a complete chapter. Okay. Why? Because we will be discussing the complete chapter in the foundation batches and in all these ongoing batches. We have all these ongoing batches. We have the JIB foundation batch 2.0, we have the DAPF selection batch, We have the normal foundation badge, we have AFM batches, RBWM badge, we have IE, IFS, PPP, as well as theory batch. These are all the ongoing batches on the Oliveboard app, right? So if you all want to have the access of all these batches, okay, you just enroll yourself in the JIB Super Elite all-in-one plan, in which you will get the access of all the live classes, mock tests, notes, and everything under one roof. Okay, so kindly you just do what, you just use the code. There is a very good discount, flat 49% off, which is going on in the Oliveboard app. If you are using this code START, right, by using this code START, you will get a flat 49% off on the JIP Super Elite all in one subscription, right? So thank you so much, everyone, whoever has joined this session. Just please like and share the video to the maximum you can. And if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, it's a request, guys, that please subscribe this channel and press the bell notification icon. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Take care. Bye, guys.